friends, I'm author Brittany Wang, and if you are a writer and love bullet journaling as much as I do, or you've been looking to get into it, you are going to love this video because I'm going to show you exactly how I set and accomplish my writing and author platform goals using my bullet journal. I'm also going to give you a little recap of how I did on my bi-monthly goals the last 2 months and what I'm planning for January and February. As I show you my tips and tricks and the different spreads I use in my bullet journal, I'm also going to be giving you guys a little recap, because I do bi-monthly goals on this channel, of how I did on my goals for November and December and what I am looking to do for January and February. All right, so first thing I did when setting up my bullet journal for 2019 was to make sure I had all the materials I wanted. And so I'm just gonna briefly list them here, and they will be in the description below as well if you wanna check them out. But first of all, I love using the Sharpie fine liner pens. They are my absolute favorite, and you're gonna see that they just write really well and really stick out on the page. And then my favorite highlighters are the mild liner highlighters, and you can see they come in a variety of colors, and I actually use them for most of my banners and different things like that, so you'll see what those look like. Then I have some sticky notes that I wanted to get in sort of matching pastel colors to my notebook, a ruler, and last of all, my notebook, which I originally got from Barnes & Noble, but I did find on Amazon. So if you're looking to get something like this, they have a bunch of different patterns. You can check that out again in the description below. Okay, so let's see what is inside my bullet journal. So first thing we're going to see is just a simple 2019 welcome page, and I eventually want to put my word of the year here, which I'm still trying to figure out. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. But one thing I do want to say as we proceed is I'm pretty minimalistic when it comes to my bullet journal. I like it to be really clean. Obviously, I love colors, but I keep it pretty simple, and I also keep it simple so that it's easy to update and I don't have to spend hours and hours on each spread. So if that sounds good to you, definitely keep watching, because I just make it really simple and really clean and really easy to keep up throughout the year. Then as we go to the next page, you would usually see an index here, because you'll usually have just different spreads like daily and weekly and monthly spreads sort of interspersed with all these other kinds of spreads. But what I actually do is I put all of those different spreads in the back, and I start from the back and go forward. So I'm going to show you this at the end, but what I like to keep is just my planning pages, my like monthly, weekly, yearly kind of pages at the beginning, sort of going straight through without other spreads sort of going in between. So you'll see how that functions in a minute, but first of all, I have my future log, and so I just have the different months sort of set up with just major events or holidays so I can keep track of the year. Also on these pages, I have little markers for just tracking my social media stuff. So I have Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and my newsletter, and I just want to track throughout each month how many followers or subscribers I have for each social media platform. And then next, I have my first monthly spread. And so you'll see here that I have this first page that is just the events of the particular month. And what I also like to do is use this as like a Thanksgiving. This was supposed to say Thanksgiving, but like a Thanksgiving or gratitude page, and sort of highlight the major things that happen throughout the month. So for example, on Monday, I put that I hit 900 subs on YouTube. So thank you everybody so much for subscribing and helping me get to 900 subscribers. So fun. But those are the kind of things that I sort of put in here, and just different events like my dad's 60th birthday and all that jazz. Then over here on this page, I sort of separate my goals into author and like business goals, because I do some side business stuff, but then also personal goals. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you're probably wondering, hey, don't you do bi-monthly goals? And I do. I just forgot to create that page first, so it actually comes a little bit later. So I'll show you that afterwards. But I also take those bi-monthly goals and separate them into the monthly goals. So that's what this page is. You'll also notice that we're about halfway through the month and I haven't checked off a bunch of things, but I usually wait to sort of go through and check off these things until I've been through the whole month. I go back here and I do like a little review. The next thing I include in succession are just the week's spreads, and I sort of do daily stuff within each week. So at the beginning of the week, I will put my author biz goals, goals/personal goals sort of up here. And then progressively as it fills out, I will do Monday and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's sort of like whatever fits where. So I can do it progressively and I don't have to like waste space. And then I just set up the next week. And you can see here again that I keep it super simple. I'm just using my highlighter to highlight the banners. And then I just use little circles instead of checkboxes. I also try to set my priorities. So you'll see here I have some little stars. And I use those stars to sort of mark the things that are top on my priority for either the week or the day, and to sort of say, hey, if I get nothing else done, if I get those things done, then I've been a success today. So usually I'll have about 2 or 3 per day. And also if I don't get to something, I put a little line with a little arrow just telling me that I need to push it off to the next day. Now this next spread is my January and February bi-monthly goals, and I wanted to tell you guys what I did and what I didn't do in November and December. But before we get there, I did promise that I was going to show you what spreads I have in the back here. And so here again, I have my index, and then the following pages, I have different spreads. So this spread, I have spread ideas. So as I see other bullet journal videos or get ideas, I sort of list ideas of spreads that I can do in the future. And then the ones I've done so far are like a writing and author calendar. So I wanted to sort of see the year at a glance and see just different events that are happening that pertain to authors or writers, and sort of either work my content around that or work my schedule around those things. The next few pages are for my author platform, mostly for content brainstorming and planning, and it just makes it so much easier for the rest of the year. So this first spread is my content brainstorming page. And so obviously I've blocked a lot of stuff off because I don't want to give too much away, but I listed out a bunch of YouTube like video types that I could do, or topics I could do. And then I also made a list of people I'd love to collab with this year, and just general video ideas that are like more specific than these. And for any of you author tubers out there, if you'd like me to do a video that sort of lists out more of these kind of ideas so that you can get ideas, definitely let me know and I can do that. The next page is a content calendar for the year, specifically for YouTube, but everything I do, sort of blogs and Instagram, sort of revolves around what I do for YouTube. So I didn't want to give too much away again, but I did try to plan at least 4 ideas for every month. So that's what's sort of penciled in here. And then I write them in pen as I do them. The next spread is Best of AuthorTube 2018. So this was sort of part of my planning, where I sort of went back and looked at my top search terms and percentage watched and different things like that to help me plan for the new year. Then I am also a Christian and I very much believe in the power of prayer. So I wanted to have a prayer request spread here. And then you guys saw this in a previous video, but I just made my general 2019 goals here. I also did a spread about just my routines, daily, weekly, and monthly, that pertain to author stuff and more author platform stuff. And then my last spread here is my TBR and log for the year, because one of my goals is definitely to read a whole lot more. And so obviously I have a bunch of other books that I want to read, but I just started off with a few, and I've already completed Cinder this January. So that was a really good read, and I'm excited to sort of add to this list and keep reading as well, sort of check them off as I go, and sort of log how long it's taken me to read as well. Finally, as promised, I just wanted to give you guys a little recap. I do this to keep myself accountable, but also to inspire you guys for what I got done in November and December and what I want to get done in January and February. And obviously this is from a different bullet journal, so you can just ignore this. It's supposed to be for November and December of 2018. Yay, these are the things I got done. I won NaNoWriMo. I started working with my CPs for my work in progress for draft 2. I wanted to read at least 1 book a month, and I actually read 4. I wanted to post 1 YouTube video a week, and I actually checked this off, but there was 1 week that I didn't because it was just a little crazy during the holidays, but for the most part I did that. We hosted the NaNoWriMo House Cup in the Plotter Life Writers Facebook group, which was so much fun. I released 1 newsletter each month, and I also launched my author website services. What I didn't get done, I didn't get to prepare for betas that I wanted to do in January, but I'll give you an update over here in a second. I wanted to hit hit 1,000 subscribers by New Year's on YouTube. I didn't hit that, but like I said before, I just passed 900, so I think maybe this month, maybe next month, that would be awesome. Then I had certain Instagram, Twitter, and blog goals, but just with everything else, I wasn't as consistent with that, so I definitely want to get better at that for this next round. For this January and February, these are my goals separated into categories. So for writing, for January, I want to finish rounds with my CPs, and then in February, I want to edit my draft based on that feedback and prep for betas, hopefully to start that in March. Yes, I so want to make this. Then for reading, I want to read at least one book a month, and in here I will put the 2 books, one for January, one for February here, so I can log that. Then for AuthorTube, I want to do at least 1 video a week, 1 live stream a month, and that includes my secret project with Bethany, which hopefully I will be telling you about soon. Then for social media stuff, I want to keep up with the Plotter Life Writers Facebook group. We have some weekly threads going on to help you guys plan as well and succeed in your writerly goals. And we want to do 1 event over the next 2 months. I want to plan a year's worth of content, which actually I already did, so I should be checking that off. I want to figure out batching routines, so maybe batching enough content for 2 months at a time. Ooh, that's a big one. Then these were the other things that I didn't do the last 2 months that I just want to do at least 1 post on Instagram a week, but I do stories like pretty much every day. Twitter at least once a day, and I want to blog at least once a week with a Pinterest post. Then for my website and newsletter, I want to do 1 newsletter a month. I want to revamp my For Writers page, which actually I already did this, and I have a bunch of tools and a bunch of my videos actually categorized into different helpful categories for you guys on my writers page at authorbrittanyWang.com if you want to check that out. And then for author websites, I want to create and launch 2 websites a month. So I just put blanks here for the names of the authors I'm going to create websites for. Then I want to prep for the 2nd author website bootcamp because we just finished the last one at the end of December. So I'd love to do this again, maybe in March, but we'll see. If you are interested in learning how to create an author website for yourself and want to be in one of my boot camps, there is a wait list, and I'll put the link on the screen here and in the description below if you want to be alerted about when the next one is so you don't miss it. All right, everybody, so that is my bullet journal. That is how I set up everything for 2019. I would love to know in the comments if you do bullet journaling. Are there any different things or different spreads that you do? And if you got inspired by this or you are just starting out with your bullet journal, I would love to know what was helpful and what you'd like to see more of in my next bullet journal video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already, consider subscribing because we do lots of fun writerly stuff like this on my channel all the time. Next week, I'm actually going to be giving you a writing space and office tour. So that's going to be really fun as we've been doing a lot more sort of goal-oriented stuff for the new year. And then I have a lot of really cool things planned for the rest of the year. So definitely make sure you subscribe and tune in next week. And until then, happy writing.